Alright, so you guys are in Norest, and you are sort of deciding what to do next. You had a talk with the prince. I think you're actually still at the palace, technically. Uh, what? Yeah, what do you guys recall from the conversation with the princess, just to make sure we're on the same page?
I remember nothing.
That we're not allowed to go
To the place that we want to go.
to the place that you want to go.
That's true.
Basically. Yeah, the it really comes down to from her. It comes down to uh you are currently like a knight on probation. Like they sort of bent the rules because of your circumstance to give you authority to go and help with the Whitewater thing. You're back now. They expect you to fulfill your, keep your promise and take your oaths on the 45th of the month. It's currently 18th, and they do not like the idea of someone that they want to work under them, but also somebody who might potentially be a Knight Eternal, just going to Avency, because the Regent Lord and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
I believe. What answer did you give her? Like, what are the current plans that you let her?
I believe it was a very dejected fine.
Okay. Yeah. So you are so she would offer you, if you are going to be staying in the city, she can prepare some rooms, like a suite for the night for Alina, and then also some sort of barracks rooms for her retainers. Probably as good as like a middle / lower inn, but it's the grounds are in the castle, so that's where you can stay the night if you wish. But if you, for whatever reason, wanted to leave and go about places in the meantime, if you are not in the castle and such, and you want to do your own thing in between now and the ceremony, it would need to be without her authority or protection or anything like that. Yeah, I think that's it. And then I think she would probably offer to Alina of like, if you're not going anywhere and you're going to be here and until the ceremony, I would like to talk to you before then about plans for what I hope to do after you become an official knight. There are some things that I wish that you to be made aware of.
Absolutely. I would like to see what everyone else would like to do.
Of course, just let me, once you and your group have decided how you wish to proceed, just let me know.
I will. Thank you, Your Highness.
Very well, you are. You are just, and she dismisses you. So yeah. What are we doing?
I guess I'm going to talk. Well, I mean, I'm meeting up with that. We're all sitting and talking about it.
Yeah, you guys are all at the palace together, so.
Galahadrin is trying on the helmets of the decorative armors.
You are being told to not touch the decorative armors.
Oh. Apologies.
Some guards just kind of give you a weird look, and provincials.
Let's see. I think it's important to update the bishops on what's happened, and what we've learned. So that's definitely something we want to go do.
Is there something we need to go and fight?
Not just yet.
Not that I'm aware of. At least not directly.
I'm sure something will come up.
Yeah.
I wanted to go and talk to Serena. I know that,
You did want to go
but
talk to
that's
Serena.
that's bishop adjacent. So
Yeah,
Go to the church.
yeah, let's go to the church. We can talk to the bishops. You can talk to Serena. Afterwards, I'd like to go to the Avency embassy and talk to my contact there. See if I can't get a letter to my sister, letting her know that she's there.
Okay.
So yeah, we can. That sounds like that's 3 scenes. That's probably.
sounds like we're headed to the church.
Okay. So there are 3 churches, and there's a different archbishop at each one. The one that you guys first met and talked to, and the one who Serena works for, is the Archbishop of Felmar, which is Kenneth Spade. Is that the one you're going to first? The other archbishops are the Archbishop of Carrick, Archbishop Greenfield, who is sort of a paladin who's in charge of defense. I think in the last conversation that you guys had in the big meeting, you got the impression that his main concern was fighting the demons up north. And then the other archbishop is the Archbishop of Rithmus, Archbishop Hawthorne, who was going to be looking into corruption concerns with your uncle that seem like they have been resolved.
Yeah, that's
Well,
somewhat moot.
they were concerning and dealt
assume-
with.
I assume that she's been informed of what happened. If not, I should probably inform her.
No, you guys took griffins. You got
Okay.
here before the news.
Uh,
News travels by hawk, and since you were leaving on griffins, they didn't bother to send a hawk.
Okay.
There's probably a courier with a more detailed report, but I think one of the expectations is, oh, you're taking the griffins? Well, you need to also tell people what the fuck just happened.
Okay. Um,
Needy.
let's see. Well, you said that Greenfield is concerned with demons.
Greenfield, yeah. The
Okay.
part of the tenets or the duties of the Church of Carrick is protecting people from outside threats, which means that he has been the church as well as the Royal Army from the last meeting that you guys had has a strong presence in the Garen Woods in between the woods and the Wrath Wastes. Their current headquarters is in the town of Walden. And yeah, he mentioned that they are fighting demons on the border there. He was concerned about Alina's vision involving demons because he assumed that people not near the border were not aware of demons and that it was a well-guarded secret.
Okay, I'm trying to remember in my head because we hadn't fought demons the first time we talked to him, right?
No.
Okay. So we should tell him about that. We should tell Spade and Serena.
Okay, just let me know which one you're going to first.
Yeah.
Let's go to Spade and Serena first,
Okay.
because that's 2 things, and then all the other bishops we have.
If we even want to do it, we could. If you and Phelan want to go and talk to Spade,
Okay.
I can go and talk to Spade and Serena. I can go and talk to Hawthorne and report on what happened there. Maybe me and
Okay.
I'm trying to like divide like in character. We can do this a bit more efficiently and out of
You're
character.
you're in no rush to go
Yeah.
and tell them all immediately. Like you guys, you can all go to each one as a group if you would
Okay.
like, or if you want to split it up, you can do it either way.
All right, let's just go all to go together to talk to Spade. That's fine.
Okay. All right. So you guys, and they're also like in the same. They're like in a triangle-esque, town square thing. They're all close to each other. Yeah. So you go to the the Cathedral of Felmar. You ask for Spade, and at first the attendant's like, "Oh, it's just random people walking in and asking for the Archbishop. We'll see if he's busy." And they go and they come back like 5 minutes later. It looks like they jogged to come back here, and they're like, "Oh yes, no, I'm so sorry. The Archbishop will see you now. Please come with me." And they lead you up to the Archbishop's chambers. The room is as you remember it, filled with various large tomes and knickknacks and artifacts and pieces of art and stuff. The Archbishop is sitting in his wheelchair behind his desk, just sort of reading over some papers. Just looks like he's in the middle of paperwork, and standing in front of the door to like open the door for you and show you in is his assistant Serena. Her hood up, hiding her hair that you guys all know is green. She closes the door behind you, and the Archbishop's like, "Oh, you're back already. How was Where were you going again?" I believe they were going to Pontem, sir. It's like, "Oh, yes, Pontem. How's the family?"
Bad.
Hmm.
Not good.
"Oh dear. Oh my. So sorry to hear that."
Dead mostly.
But through our acts of
Oh, gracious.
heroism, we saved many people.
You want to make a deception check on that, or?
No, I'm not being deceiving. We saved like
Okay.
2 people and maybe 3.
Oh, well, good. You're doing the Trinity's work. I'm so sorry to hear of that, Abel, my boy. It's terrible news. I hope just rest knowing that their souls are now in heaven with the Trinity, being served by whatever foul deeds led to their untimely demise.
We should change subjects.
Yes, please. What can I do for you? Serena, fetch them some drinks, and she goes and like pours you guys like something from a pitcher. Just hands you out refreshments and cookies and stuff. Yeah, the Archbishop sort of looks around just expectantly, just waiting.
Stack of cookies, 4 cookies, 5 cookies.
Did you get my letter?
You arrived far before a letter would.
The original letter?
When did you write it?
Well, then how did the princess know?
How did the princess know what?
Because you said the princess got my letter.
When did you write letters? Was it in Pontem or Goldcliff?
Pontem.
Pontem. No, the princess would not have gotten your letter.
Then you fucked up.
Okay.
I own that. That's fine.
I do
One
not
space
recall
is
saying that she got
complicated.
your letter, and that's mainly just a timetable thing of like the traveling of a single person on horseback compared to horseback from you guys from Pontem to Goldcliff and then flying from Goldcliff.
Yeah, no, but that is what led to the rest of the conversation about Abel's family with the princess. Is you like, I was just reading your letter. Oh, it got worse.
Oh, okay. All right. In that case, yeah, he would have received that letter then. Let's just say that he did. He's like, oh yes, no, dreadful things. I was just read that sooner. And then what did you tell him? Everything, like all the
Yeah.
demons? Okay, it's like, yes, and you are here much faster than I thought you would. How did you get here just as your letter did?
We took a griffin.
Ah, I see. I'm not sure if they would be available. Do you need me to call the other bishops in for this report? I assume is there anything new that you need to add?
There is so much going on.
I can imagine.
Truer words have never been spoken.
I'm just gonna kind of look pointedly at Phelan.
Oh yeah.
I will look pointedly back.
We're all looking pointedly at each other.
I will eat another cookie.
Yeah, Cookie Town.
Also, Phelan, I should ask, are you doing anything to like, are you wearing a hood or a
No.
hat or anything? No? Okay.
No, I am not.
Alright, I guess I'll take the lead here. Archbishop, so you, in the letter, I believe you, I don't remember exactly when you said this. This would have been like right after we cleared out the castle, right?
Yes, this
Okay.
is when we came back from the orc lady.
Yes. And we want to ask him about Phelan's hair and the visions and like closing the portals. Yes, we've all agreed on that.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually,
So-
to that end, if we are in fact bringing up my hair and vision and portals and whatnot,
I mean, I feel
Um,
like that's why we're here.
that's why I was going to talk to Serena. Yeah. So if that's the plan, I will absolutely take point on that then.
Okay, go ahead.
Phelan, make a perception check.
Yeah.
I mean, we also
How do I
had
do
to
that again?
fill
There
them
it
in
is.
about. I mean, do we have to fill them about the hanky church stuff that was happening? I mean, I'm sure they already know. I'm sure the Marquis told them, hey, one of the barons in.
Oh, with the heresy, you mean? I don't think that would have reached him yet.
Might
That's
as well
probably
tell
more
him.
a Rithmus matter, though. I don't know that he would care about that.
Yeah, because we told the princess about it. I don't know. I just don't remember what we're telling everyone.
I think the main reason we're here is to ask about Phelan's hair and what that means. So Phelan can definitely take the lead on that.
I beg your pardon. You received her letter that discussed the vision, correct?
Yes, I did. This was a very disturbing piece to add to our history. Just Dead Knight Radiant, or Dead Knights Eternal. Shocking.
Just a moment. He's old. It doesn't matter. Do we know is that something we've heard of? That the Knights Eternal or any of them can knit reality back together?
Yes, it was. Oh, you're speaking out loud. Never mind.
Unfortunately, our records for the time of King Owen are very poor. They're mainly oral traditions and books written during the imperial days, decades or even centuries after they occurred. It's the first that I have heard about it from a reputable source, although there are certainly fables and stories of great magical feats attributed to the various knights and the king and queen.
Would those great magical feats re-emerging be a sign that you are one of the people being reborn?
I assume if you have a blessing from the Trinity that is above and beyond what the typical clergy or paladins have, then that might be a sign. If we believe that the Knights Eternal are reincarnating, then yes, I would say that would be a strong indication.
I'll look specifically at Abel and just be like, then that is all the questions I have for now.
Well, yeah.
All right.
Let me know. Yeah.
I mean, we obviously can inform him that we found the captain, Captain Guar, and sealed up another portal.
Good to hear. Good to hear. It's a good thing that you put down such heresy. We should not abide that sort of terrible action. Dangers us all.
It wasn't just heresy. I mean, it was a rip in space. Like it was beyond that. There were demons coming out of it.
That far south?
Yes.
Yes.
No, we should definitely call the archbishops to meet. Serena, if you could go and send a message to the other two archbishops to meet me at their earliest convenience. Let them know that it is urgent. And she just sort of looks at him. Anybody wants to give me an insight check?
Love a good insight check.
All right.
Can remember where it is. Oh, baby! I'm on it today.
She...
Wait.
Yeah.
I want to join. It's going to be terrible, but I want to join.
Yeah.
Good job.
I think even Abel would catch a hint of this. She hears his command, and you can see, Phelan, you can see on her face the look of somebody trying to find an excuse to not do what they're told. She does not want to leave this room.
If I may step
I-
out for a moment.
And she sort of looks at you and is like, yes, I will do that right away. Yeah. And she bows, and goes to leave.
Would you care for someone to walk with you?
I can escort her.
Yes, I believe that should, if Sir Phelan here wishes to accompany me, that should be good. Yeah, and she sort of leaves with Phelan, exits the room.
Exit stage left.
Alright, so for the people who are still in the room,
Roll initiative.
no,
Fuck this old man.
Today we fight the bishop.
today we fight the youngsters. We'll show them what for. Okay, boomer me, will you? No, but yeah, is there anything else you guys wanted to inform him or just... He seems... Both, like... I'll just let the insights things... he seems surprised and curious, but not, like, really terrified or anything. Just like, oh, wow, Demon's South, that's why. That's wild. He'd probably start, if you don't ask him any other questions, he'd probably start asking you just questions about the demons, like what they looked like, how many limbs they had, just like curious little, like, oh, what were they like?
I'm gonna tell him about the vision that I got from the demon of my aunt being murdered. We didn't include that in the letter.
Oh, my young man, that is terrifying. It's horrendous. I'm so sorry. It must be a very traumatic experience. My condolences to you and your uncle.
Well, see, here's the thing. Well.
Yeah.
You remember how I asked the Archbishop of Rithmus, Archbishop Hawthorne, to do a little bit of investigating into my
yes.
uncle? Well, it turns out
I'm sure that if the death of his family, they'll likely drop that and sort of ease the suspicion.
Well, no, because he was definitely doing that, and also
oh dear,
was behind the assassination of my parents and sister.
He is also dead now.
He's also dead now. Yes, the Marquis challenged him to a duel, and he did not acquit himself well.
That is... I must confess, I do not know as much about the affairs of the nobility as I probably should. I tend to stick to academics and such myself, but my condolences for whatever trauma has occurred in your family, and I hope that things turned out acceptably. It's a long, awkward conversation ensues over there. Meanwhile, Phelan, Serena leads you down some corridors, takes some turns, and then stops in like a hallway nowhere near, like, you've been here a few times, you know relatively the way to get out. She has sort of led you deeper into the same floor into sort of like a less used wing of the cathedral, and she stops and looks at you and is like, you cannot tell the Archbishop about your hair. You need to hide that, and you need to leave Norest immediately.
Why would I do that?
For your own good.
Forgive me, but having green hair hasn't exactly put you in danger.
No, I know how to handle myself, Perrin. You don't.
I've closed 2 rifts in reality and fought demons. I feel like I have a good idea. on how to
Demons
handle
are
myself.
not the issue. Genesis is. You need to leave.
What is Genesis?
I can't tell you that.
Okay, forgive me. If I am to be threatened by something, I'm going to need to know what it is besides a name.
Make a persuasion check. There are people within the church who are trying to use people with gifts. That is the most I can tell you.
And are they doing so to you?
I am playing along with it for now. That was Gary, and we decided to keep you out of it.
Gary?
Your friend?
Oh, I know Gary. Gary?
Yes, Gary.
We came from the same village.
We all did, Perrin.
Okay. Is there a reason you and I are both turning green? Is that from the village? Or is...
It's just seems to be what happens. Happened to Gary as well, happened to the other people that I've reached out to. Listen. You should not get involved in this. I don't know why you're with those Besmarans. I don't know what they've promised or if you trust them, but you must stay away from the church.
I believe that is a foregone conclusion. I will hide my hair, but I am a part of this now. I have sewn reality back together, which if the visions of someone we know to, as well as we can, know to be a knight, is to be believed, is a power only given to someone you now claim to be.
That puts you in even more danger. They're
So be
looking
it.
for the queen and her power.
Wouldn't they know that was you?
She sort of narrows her eyes a bit. I think we both know that it's not me.
Would that be me?
I don't know. Everyone's power is different. They haven't been satisfied with any of ours, and what I fear is that they'll be satisfied with yours.
I will do my best to lay low. You and I should probably stay as close as we can to in contact.
That didn't work the last time, Perrin.
Who
I
was
guess
the
you
last
wouldn't
time?
remember, and she leaves. In a huff.
I do not remember.
You do not.
Okay. Delightful.
You doing anything with your hair?
Yeah, I'll make... I mean, I can't really... I can make a hat for now. I'll have to go and find a clothier.
Yeah, alright. Let's see. So she goes off to sort of talk to the other archbishops. Are you going to follow her, or are you just going to return to the room where everybody else is in?
I'll follow her. I said I would escort her. I'll escort her.
Okay. She notices you following and just like sighs a bit and is like, oh, you might as well come along.
I did say I would escort.
She just goes to the other cathedrals and says, like, urgent message, ask for the other archbishops to meet in the cathedral Felmar as soon as possible. if anybody gives her weird looks, she like leans forward and says, like, you know, whispers demons at him or something like that, and the clerics just go "Ooh," and go and make their meetings known. And then you guys return to the meeting room. Everybody else was having a really awkward conversation with the Archbishop while they were out. They return. Serena walks forward and bows and is like, "The other Archbishops will be here within the hour." He's like, "Ah, good. Gentlemen, how are we on cookies? Dude, everybody want tea? Serena, fetch us
Tea
some
would
tea
be
and
lovely,
cookies."
thank you.
Yes, good. And she just goes off and prepares some more tea and cookies for everybody. Phelan, you return with her.
Yep. I
Uh,
will simply stand.
All right. Oh, I like your hat, boy.
Thank you. It felt like a fancy day.
It looks visibly magical, but he thinks you're a wizard. So
If he wasn't ancient, he would be able to tell that I am not thrilled I'm wearing a ridiculous shining purple hat.
yeah.
I think it's a great hat.
Thank you, Gala.
I'm glad you're embracing purple.
Yes.
Is there anything you guys wanted to talk with him in addition until the other archbishops arrive?
Well, I mean, surely we can't have possibly been in the only two places there are demons. Are you getting words that there are demons other places?
Oh yes, the Wrathwaste is just chock full of them. It's terrible.
As of when?
Past 30, 40 years or so.
40 years? I thought your culture didn't have a word for demons.
It's not one that we share with the general public. We don't want them to be frightened, but
You did have a word for demons. Secret demons in a desert.
yes.
We should go to the desert.
He's also like looking at you and it's like, "Oh yes, and Galahad, my boy, have you given any thought to my offer to become a paladin?"
Yes, I don't think so. I'm already a paladin. Thank you for the offer, though.
Oh, okay.
I
Doesn't really know what to say to that.
Out of
yeah.
curiosity, has she told me her real name?
She's told you Serena.
Okay.
You don't know if that's a real name or not.
I doubt it, but back on.
Let's see. Yeah, so eventually the other archbishops will arrive. Archbishop Greenfield in his sort of green and copper armor would come in, just sort of look around and it's like, I heard word there was news of demons that you found. Were you not traveling south?
We were. That's why we're concerned.
It's troubling, very troubling. And as he says that, the other archbishop shows up and it's like, Whitewater. I received a hawk, and apparently the investigation is no longer needed.
That is unfortunately correct. Or fortunately, it's a mixed bag for me. I assure you understand.
It's very complicated, but I do respect that you put the nation and the people above your own family interests for this. You have my respect for your actions, or at least what I know of them. I'm waiting for a full report.
Of course, I swore an oath to the gods, and I kept it.
Good man. Good man. Yeah. So they all sit and it's like, so, what news do you bring of demons? You were in Pontem, correct?
That's correct. The attackers appear to have unintentionally summoned demons, and that was why the attack was so successful, and the local forces were not able to clear the castle.
I imagine they wouldn't be able to handle demons without relics or the blessings of the gods. You said summoned.
Yes, and I'll describe basically what I saw in my vision of Captain Guar murdering my aunt, and then the murder weapon basically opening up a crack in reality through
Okay.
which demons entered the world.
So Archbishop Spade looked like, curious, but also like, ooh, that's, like a bit disturbed. The other two, the two paladin archbishops look horrified. Just aghast of just like, they ask you a few times to repeat what you just said to make sure that you said it clearly. Are there any other details, or how much detail are you giving them? Because they will poke and prod you for every bit of information they can. So if there's any holding back, you'll need to make deception checks.
Yeah. I'm guessing that we've already told them that Phelan was the one that closed it, right?
You told Spade.
We told Spain. I don't think he would keep it from anybody else, so I think that we can let them know that Phelan was able to close it with his arcane magics, his wizardry.
And
Yep.
what weapons were you able to use that were effective against them?
Magical ones.
Yeah, Phelan provided us with enchanted weapons.
Really? You can make multiple enchanted weapons? You can make relics?
I can make weapons.
But that are as effective as relics in fighting demons.
That are effective against demons.
This how many can you make?
3 so far.
3. At a time, or are these
Yes.
limited conjurations?
After a certain amount, my power starts to fizzle. Can only make 3. If I make a 4th, the first one I made disappears.
I see. For a second there, I thought we had found a way to turn the tide in the Wrathways.
For heroes, yes. For armies, no.
Are you... I don't mean to be rude to ask this in front of your companions, but would you be willing to work for the church directly? We could pay you as a mercenary and send you to the front lines to help our efforts there.
I am otherwise tied. My apology.
No, for my duty, I needed to ask, but I respect your commitment to your own duties. And these demons, they came out of portals. They're covered in mouths?
That's correct. And I'll also describe what Phelan saw with the one that seemed to like eat a guy's soul, and my conclusions as to how I got the vision that I got.
Doc, it's a good thing that you sent this captain to face the judgment of the Trinity, as she deserved far less than that for releasing such horrible things upon the citizens.
So
That's the thing that concerns me, is I don't think she intended to. At least not at first.
Are you always sending paladins to fight demons in the Wrathways?
We send paladins to support soldiers who are fighting off demons. It's a joint effort there of the Royal Army, the Church of Bosmar, as well as some support forces from Garen Dune, as well as the refugees who live in the Garen Woods. We're trying to hold the line so that the Wrathways doesn't encroach
How did you
further south.
keep this a secret when so many people are involved?
It's remote. There's only a small village nearby. We make sure that the soldiers don't speak around the civilians in that area to not spread panic. Otherwise, we have priests of Rithmus swear them to secrecy. We compensate them for that.
Wait, so if this has been going on for 30 years, and the army is occupied doing this, and
Elena, how old are you? Sorry, how many years?
Are we
We
24?
yeah,
Yeah, we have been holding them back for around 30 years got to, uh, since they got close enough to communities in the Garen Woods to warrant our defense in trying to hold them back. But as far as our histories are aware, the corruption of the Goblin Kingdom into the force that could now runs rampant across the Wrathways occurred possibly 200 years ago. And Ken of Spade is like, oh, yes, in 695.
um, so if this big threat is looming on the northern border, why did the crown start another war in the south? Why is the crown fighting another war in the south, I should say? Abel would not say that the crown started it. I don't know what
Yeah, yeah.
whatever the appropriate
It'd be the Spear faction, which
yeah.
is led by the Marquis Velikamp with support from the Prince. And before you would say, just go ahead and make a history check.
Okay.
Oh, so yeah, this is something that you're completely aware of because you were, with one of the houses that was involved in it. The Royal Army has no participation in the war in the South. That is almost purely the southwestern nobles.
Interesting.
So the three marquis, one of them is pushing south, one of them is holding against the Knolls, and the third is kind of just shooting at shit on the border with Lothmar and not really. Those houses are focused more on trade than military stuff. The Royal Army is like slightly larger than the three marquee houses have in Armine combined, and you're aware that they have most of their forces are concentrated in the north around Norest, and as far as you were concerned, on the border with the Knolls and in the Wrathways. Like it's
Okay.
well known that the army is holding back the hobgoblins of the Wrathways. The new information is demons and what those
Okay.
might be.
And so the war that's being fought is more of a it's like a feudal war where it's like the two like royal houses aren't necessarily at war. It's all of their underlings who are fighting.
But with support from
Yeah.
the two. I would trying to think of how much you would even be in a position to know. But it's the Spear faction under the Prince are pushing for war and for conquest down there and taking Colmar, and the Shield faction are pushing for trying to focus their forces on defense instead for both of the northern borders, but also in trying to get like more cooperation with Lothram, especially along the Knoll front.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the two political camps at this point is
Right.
conquest south or cooperation and holding the line in the north.
Right. Okay, so I guess I wouldn't ask that question because I know already.
Yeah. The demon thing is new, and it might just be you've probably heard of soldiers coming back completely shell shocked from the front, but like they're hobgoblins. They've got weird magic and stuff. They're not. You've never heard the term demon specifically. There might have been some control of information in regards to what those actually are, but in your mind you're kind of now piecing together. It was like, oh yeah, there were people coming back from that line just fucked up, traumatized and shit. Like there are terrible stories coming from what's going on over there. So
Okay. But it sounds like something might be happening. It sounds like there's different kinds of demons.
they sort of look at each other, and Hawthorne will look at Greenfield and it's like, I have never heard of demons such as they describe. He's like, no, those aren't what we're familiar with up north. The demons that the hobgoblins employ are the giant hulking things with either large tusks and fangs, or they're wielding twisted, broken blades and such. They're spewing fire and destruction where they go. They're not mouths or eating souls. I've never heard of one growing bigger after devouring the soul of a soldier. We'd have so much more issues if that was the case.
Hmm.
And that portal is troubling too. That might shed some light on where the hobgoblins are getting them from, but such tears would have to be far back in, maybe even in their capital. It's a troubling thought. You bring certainly very grave news.
Hmm. But this would mean that we'd be able to if you could push that far, then they could be closed.
Yes, if is that something that you're willing to? And he sort of looks at you like, are you willing to do that? If we can get you deep enough into the Wrathwaste to find these portals and close them and stop the demons from pouring through, is that?
Well, I can't do that. You'd have to ask Phelan.
So I find that's a hard thing to ask. That would almost be a suicide mission. We don't know what they've done to that land since they overtook it.
Yeah. Well, if we can figure out more information about where they might be, it certainly would be a good thing to be able to target their demon logistics, as it were.
Yes, that's...
So perhaps if we have more concrete intelligence to work on how they summon the demons, then maybe we could do something about it, assuming that our duties take us that way. I imagine we'll need to coordinate with the Crown.
Yes, no, I will ask our scouts to search for that. Now that we know that that's a possibility, we'll see if what we can find, and let you know immediately. It's very troubling. Is there any further news that you have for us?
Let's see. Well, so if the demons have multiple different factions, I wonder if there's any way to take advantage of that.
There might. Never seen them. Wasn't even aware that there were multiple ones. I wouldn't know how they act together. Wouldn't know if it's possible that the gnolls have something that would be considered demons of their own, and they're busy fighting the hobgoblins in that border. We do hear from our scouts that there's as much fighting between those two factions as our little sliver protecting the Garen Woods. And he sort of goes over to a map that the Ken of Spade has, and he sort of points, and it's like, our main forces are concentrated here, sort of holding back the Wrathwaste as much as we can, as well as, funnily enough, this is the section of the border with the lightest gnoll attacks, but our scouts confirm that all along this section there's been constant heavy fighting between the gnolls and the hobgoblins. Seems to be where both of their forces are primarily focused, thankfully. I'm not sure if we'd be able to have held out as long as we have if either of them were freed up from the other.
Okay. I'm trying to remember what is the historical timeline here. The gnolls overrun the Gnoll lands in 587.
God, they would, wouldn't they?
Well, they're called the Gnoll lands because they overran it.
Yeah.
It's also, for everybody else, it is currently 893.
Yeah.
In the morning?
So, and
No.
Oh, I gotta go, babe.
I wonder if there would be any way to, because the gnolls also attack us. Yes.
Yeah, the gnolls also do probing attacks. Less you guys are very good at holding them off. Lothram is not. So
Mhm.
and I'll say for that natural 20, you would just know from, being around, military people and stuff is since Bosmar holds off so much better than Lothram, there are reports suspect that the gnolls have actually even diverted forces away from Bosmar and are hitting the softer targets.
I see. Hmm. I wonder if it would be possible to, of the two of them, the gnolls might be allied with.
You would be the first people to have successful negotiations with those monsters that I've heard of.
Are they reacting to Marrow being in the room at all?
When you guys first sort of showed them, they were just like, "What the hell is that?" And then you guys, then Spade vouched for it, and they're just like, "Okay, whatever." And also remember, this is in this city, there are pets that have those collars that let
Yeah.
them talk.
Okay.
So they just think it's like, this is some weird red attack dog or something, whatever.
Okay. If only we had some way to negotiate with them. Oh well. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if.
As you're thinking, I think Hawthorne would turn to Helena. It's like, Sir Katala, I heard that you took the princess up on her offer of joining the Royal Knights.
That is correct.
Congratulations. I believe, are you planning to have the ceremony on Rithmus's Day?
Correct.
And I will be administering that oath, if that is the plan. I look forward to helping you take your vows.
I would be honored.
It seems like you are going to be a formidable asset in the future of this nation, one way or the other. If you serve the royal house, I am sure that you will benefit us all. But if, for whatever reason, you feel that the politics is not to your liking, I'm pretty sure that any of the three of us would welcome you into as a paladin as either of the churches.
I appreciate that offer. Thank you.
I called Galahadrin, says Spade from behind his desk, and Hoffer's like, yeah, okay. Whatever.
Well, wonderful.
It's nice to be wanted, you know?
It is.
It's very, very handsome fellow.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but hey.
Hey!
Are you jealous of the 96-year-old?
No, just defensive.
Okay, fair. Yeah.
Abel's been through a lot, okay?
Abel has been through a lot, and Kenneth doesn't
Haven't we
seem...
all?
With no breaks.
Do we have
Kenneth
any
is an
idea?
academic. He did not specialize in tact.
Mhm.
He's also old.
Yeah. Do we have any idea where in the Wrath Wastes these demons might be coming from? Do we have any idea at all?
So it's like, almost pre-imperial history, but the capital for the goblin kingdom that was here was supposed to be like way back here.
Okay, yeah, so we'd have to go like...
Like this whole thing used to be the Garen Woods.
Okay. Do we have any contact with Shirin Dun? Could they help? I'm trying to remember.
Not necessarily. The kingdoms don't really have strong relations with the dwarves any more than is possible than is necessary. And Shirandun is just like way off there. If you have to bishops, they're like, we sometimes send emissaries there. They don't keep one here. The more common meeting place is speaking with their representatives in Garandun.
Yeah. I'm just thinking that might
They
be a more realistic angle of attack if we're...
they are not hostile towards us, but they're also not friendly towards us. They don't seem nearly as concerned with the hobgoblins, despite their proximity to them. It's always been a bit of a curiosity towards us. Hawthorne is like, from what I have heard from some of my contacts in Garandun, while the dwarves and elves in Garandun are friendly with Bosmar out of necessity for mutual defense, the dwarves of Shirandun are well, as faithless as they come. They are far removed from Aventicum. They do not follow our ways and do not seem to respect them.
Yes, but they, I assume, also have a demon problem.
One would assume, but they have not been open to any negotiation at any point that I can remember, even when approached by their fellow dwarves. So.
I wonder why the mountains seem to kind of stop them, also.
We don't have good maps of that area. Even what we have here is just mostly educated guesses from travelers and dwarves and imperial records.
Okay. Is Bosmar and the successor states in general, are they in contact with the Elmyran Highlands via, I guess, some kind of... I guess you'd have to go the long way around, wouldn't you? Or live across the mountains.
Not necessarily. And Spade is like, from my understanding, that's actually a more recent addition to the map. Some of the even Imperial Times maps just stop at the World's Spine Mountain in Farandun. It's not something that our people have been concerned with. My best guess is that is where all of the faithless who did not wish to live in Aventicum left during Imperial times, and they just sort of lead them to their squalor. Hawthorne instead just gives them a look and is like, I have never heard anything from them besides just a name on a map given to us by Farandun through Felmara. And Farandun is even less amicable to us than Shirandun, downright hostile in some days. I do not envy Felmara with having to deal with them and the dwarves of the Iron Hills.
Because it really seems like the Wrathwastes push the Gnolls south, the Gnolls push us south. So if we tackle the problem at its root, the questions maybe for another time.
If that is something that you believe you can accomplish, you would have the full support of all of the church, hopefully the royal family as well, at least the Shield faction. That would be definitely a boon to them to be able to solve this problem once and for all. It's what they're focused on, is the defense of the northern borders.
What we need is more information about the demons, because we don't know if the ones in the Wrathwastes, since they're a different faction, we don't know if they also come through portals. I mean, it seems plausible, but we don't know for sure. So we need to know about that. I mean, before we even consider this.
It's something we can have our scouts look into, but they usually don't go that deep into the Wrathwastes. It's far too dangerous.
I imagine so, yeah. Um, or like, we need... Yeah, what we need is information. If there's a place we can go to get information, um, some kind of deep lore, or like Imperial ruin that might have the answers we need.
Archbishop Spade looks in and is like, well, the best repository of Imperial lore outside of Ency is this cathedral. I will look and see what I can find. But this is all new information to me. I'm not sure how much of our records would be there. I can certainly look into other potential sources.
Okay.
Hawthorne is kind of just going to sigh and go, Spade, you said outside of Avency. Yes? Would Avency have records of the pre-Wrathwaste Goblin Kingdoms? And he was like, oh, most likely, somewhere in the undead-infested halls of whatever their libraries are. Never been there before. Wouldn't know for certain. Regent Lord knows a lot more than we suspect, but that's what makes him untrustworthy. I do not recommend going to Avency, and she just shoots you all a look, especially not while... Well, I guess it's under the royal family's protection, but the Regent Lord is far too greedy for relics for Artes.
Yes, I believe
We've
that.
petitioned him multiple times for additional weapons to fight the demons on behalf of all of Aventicum, but he has refused. He's turned us down. It's frustrating.
Hmm. Do you have any idea where, I guess all the relics are like named?
There are names and records of relics. There's more relics than are named in your book, just because there's a lot of
Sure.
minor ones. But just like, hey, this family had inherited a +1 sword that they've passed down the line and such. So
I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously, the best place to ask this question would be Avency, but like, if there's something to do, would be to go and like find like an ancient cache of weapons that could be used. Um, but
Spade would sort of look up and was like, I believe that the only Imperial runes that would not have been thoroughly plumbed by any of the kingdoms would be those that are in the overrun areas of the Knowlands. That all used to be Aventicum. I could look into any old abandoned forts and bases and such, although it'd be quite a perilous expedition.
it would, but probably worth it. Yes, we should discuss this with the royal family as well, obviously.
Of course, I will do some research, see what I can find. See if we can find any hot leads.
I'm trying to remember the history of everything.
Oh boy. It's a 40-minute YouTube video, and it's enjoyable but long.
I love it. I love that video.
Make religion out of that.
No, wait.
Yeah. Apparently they had that playing on repeat at YouTube headquarters when Mike was working there.
Really?
I was like, hey, have you seen this video? And it's like, I have seen nothing but that video all day. Do not talk to me about that video.
Wow,
It was a major hit at YouTube, and they were studying it.
I see.
Yeah. So yeah, he will look into potential runes in the Knowlands or elsewhere.
Yeah.
Any other
places to
action
be
items?
heroic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it certainly feels like we aren't going to be accomplishing anything that's not in our immediate vicinity until Aelina takes her oath.
So it's definitely a thing. There's also, if you rest for a week, then you get your extended rest abilities back. So like that's not necessarily a bad thing. There's no ticking clocks as far as you're aware.
Right.
So like there's nothing that's rushing you to make a choice. So if you want to just sit and have some downtime weeks to just do things until the oath, that's certainly an option. If you want to take off before the oath, that's certainly an option. Not getting back in time to take the oath would kind of burn a bridge with the royal family, which is, a risk if you want to
Right.
take it. But like just going to Avency is, you guys are, perfectly capable of doing that.
Sure. I mean, I imagine Aelina does not want to burn that bridge.
I mean, I really want to go to Avency,
Yeah.
but that's me.
Well, why don't I get in contact with my friend at the embassy and see if we can get something going on a side channel that way. And then we can see what shakes out from that. It'll take time, obviously, for a letter to get from here to there. So we can use that. We can use a little bit of a downtime to process everything that's happened. Yeah.
Okay. So, action items from the meeting with the bishops. Archbishop Spade is going to be researching Imperial runes. Were there other things that you had sort of asked for them for assistance-wise?
They were gonna scout and see if they could
Scouting?
determine if the Wrath Wastes had portals that we could close that would assist the war effort in that
Yep.
direction.
Okay, awesome.
Um,
All right, so they can do both those things.
yeah. Let's see. We're looking for any additional information we can find on demons, I guess. Anything at all that might give us a better idea of what the threat is and how we can contain it.
So the information they provide you about the demons and the Wrathwastes that they are familiar with, sort of three key points for them. One, they're very resistant to non-magical means of fighting, which for most of Bosmar, because they don't really have a lot of wizards, means relics. A bunch of soldiers ganging up on one can still, take one down with just coordinated training. That's kind of been what they've been doing, but so far it's relics and then blessings from, battle priests or paladins. The trait that they do not seem to share with the ones that you encountered are twofold. One, less mouths, more like big, twisted metal tusks, like, violent things. Also the propensity to, like, instead of things involving, like, souls and eating and stuff, more just, like, they tell you stories of one with, like, wielding a sword that when it parries another blade, the human blade just turns to slag and shatters and stuff. Then the other note that they would say, would you mention to them the name? Like, you mentioned everything to them, right?
Yeah. So I guess we would also talk about, well, I guess I would coordinate with my party beforehand. Do we want to mention the other names that we got from Galahadrin's vision? Like Galahadrin's memory, that which consumes all, that which does not end, and that which cannot be contained?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the first I have heard. What little information we have from captured hobgoblins who have been willing to do anything other than just bite our fingers off, is that they serve someone that they call both the Master and the Ruiner. We believe they are the same entity.
Right, and we knew the Ruiner name before.
Yeah, and you knew that it was in relation to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've never
Do
heard of
we-
any of the other terms.
Do we still have the journal? I'm trying to remember.
If it should have been an inventory item,
Okay.
and I know that you gave the rod away. I think you should still have the journal. I don't think anybody asked for the journal. You
Okay.
gave the rod away for study.
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna show them that last line of the journal that says let me look find it again so that we can look at the exact words. Books. Found books. The gods are a prison. We will not be contained anymore. We will not be contained. And I'm gonna point out kind of the similarity between basically point out, okay, so we kind of have an idea that which consumes all might be related to the devourer, which we think is the one, or which it gave us that name, didn't it?
Alina's
Alina
vision.
gave us that name.
Yeah.
So we think that which consumes all is the devourer, and so then there is that which cannot be contained, which now, based on this, we think might be related to what's happening in the Garen Woods.
I can ask our contacts in Garen Dun if they've heard anything of this. We've previously tried. He sort of looks back and is like, there have been some members of the Church of Carrick who, while stationed in the Garen Woods for too long, have developed a similar madness to this, which we have referred to as the Coresian heresy. If this is related to the demons, that is troubling.
I think it is.
Kind of Spade is just like, well, I've already, I've got your men on as short of cycles as I can, although some of them refuse to leave the outreach program. We're keeping a good eye on them. We haven't had any incidents like that since for a few years before Mr. Whitewater sort of told us of this recent one. Which one of this would say it? The Archbishop of Carrick would say that I will reach out to our contacts in Garen Dun and see if there's anything, if this is not limited to just the people of Aventicum, if this is a greater threat like the demons of the Wrathwaste, then this might be affecting the dwarves as well. And I will reach out to them and see if we can find any common threads.
Yeah. It feels like they might be not as contained as we think, which is very troubling.
I don't even know what would be containing them. You've seen demons now, but they're terrifying creatures. Abominations. Alright. Is there anything else that you would wish to discuss with them?
With these motherfuckers? No.
Alright. They're busy people, so if there's nothing else that comes up, they will thank you for your information, your heroism, and your sort of contributions to the safety of Bosmar. They will leave. So you are free to go if you want to hang out at the museum a bit more or whatnot.
I mean, we've seen the museum already, right? So.
You've walked through, like, you've been here there before and stuff. So.
I think I'm gonna head to the Avency embassy.
Okay. All right. So you guys all, are there any conversations you guys want to have on the way to the embassy?
I am actually going to break off. I do not want to go to the embassy.
All right. Who's going where? Who's going with Phelan? Who's going to the embassy? Who's going to Nap?
God, let it be me.
I will go with the largest group.
Well, you're 5 people, so
I've got schemes, so I will.
all right. So
The
everybody
less people I go with, the better. At this
okay. So everybody except for Phelan is going to the embassy. So yeah, it is
Hold
a
on, what are the chances that I could run into Rowan at the embassy? Out of 100, what is the
the
percentile?
embassy for Avency?
Oh, then I'm fine.
Probably
No go.
Sam.
I don't know.
Then I'll
I'm
go.
very low.
Oh, thank God. I will
Why
let
would we be there?
Phelan. I don't know.
All right. Yeah.
He's
So you guys.
annoying. I don't know. He's
All right.
everywhere. Who gives a fuck?
He's not. You haven't met him once. What do you?
She's paranoid.
All right. Fair. You go. You go to the embassy. There is somebody dressed in old-fashioned sort of religious robes, but not necessarily robes of any of the particular gods, who's like standing as a greeter at the front door. They just sort of bow and it's like, hello, welcome to the Avency embassy. What can I do for you?
Yes, a friend of mine works here that I was hoping to schedule a meeting with. Rebecca Traganwell.
Oh, of course, and might I ask your name?
Abel Whitewater.
Of course, I will see if they're available. They leave. The sort of landing area. This is a newly built building. Like, there's no real, except for like the old barracks in the center of town and such. There's not much left of imperial ruins in the city. This was originally just like a fort, and it got built out to be a city after becoming a nation. That being said, this building itself is built to look as if it's a very old style. Like, this is like Capitol building in Washington, D.C., just like very much trying to emulate the old events. There's like columns and stuff and frescoes, but everything is new and, well maintained and not ruin-like at all. The greeter returns a few minutes later and is like, "Ah, yes, Sir Whitewater, please follow me. Envoy Traganwell will see you immediately."
Thank you. I'll follow her. Out of character question. Am I a sir still? Because I'm not.
No,
I'd allow it.
you are not.
Just let it
And,
ride.
and a reminder, Sir is SYR, but just means like nobility or knight. It's
do
not.
you feel
I'd allow
like
it.
you're
I just
in
ride
your
it as
heart-
long as you can.
Well, yeah, I know. I knew that. I was just like, is this? Am I technically? I don't think I'm technically a sir.
You're a commoner.
Yeah.
You're not a sir. You are not a knight. You are not a noble. Alina kind of got away with it because like the duchies are a bit weird. So, like, technically she's nobility from the duchies, but some people would probably use sir sarcastically with her. Like, yeah. Although she will definitely has taking the princess's offer will get a lot of legitimacy and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, people are aware. But no, as soon as word gets out, you are no longer a sir.
Right.
Sucks, dude.
Yeah.
So does this mean that this person knew who I was because they called me sir? Or
Well,
did
they just
assume I
came
was
back.
a noble?
They just came back from talking with your friend, who probably told them how to address you.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You know enough about etiquette that you can put 2 and 2 together for that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, she leads you back through the building to like an office fair. And Rebecca is, stands up from her desk to greet you and is like, Abel, darling, it's so good to see you. And
Rebecca,
walks up.
it's
She
been
is.
too long.
It has. Oh, and Alina Katala. I thought you were done sparring with him. I thought this was going to be more fun business, but if Katala is here, I assume not. And you have some other friends here. Oh, who is you?
Who is you?
Rebecca goes up to Galahadran, like takes Galahadran's hand and like kisses it.
Ooh!
A pleasure to meet you. I am the Green Knight. I have traveled from Summer.
Aren't you
I
just?
bet you are.
Fuck yeah!
Abel, where
Yeah.
did you find such a magnificent specimen?
The Garen Woods, if you could believe it.
Oh, I must go myself someday. Please make yourself home. Is there anything that you would like?
Um, well, I think I'm going to be in town for a little while, so uh, taking some time to catch up, certainly. Not all business.
Well, I meant wine, but I'll take that as a yes. And she
Yes,
starts
yes.
pouring some for everybody, including one for herself.
Yes.
She looks at Marrow and just like gets a bowl and puts some wine in the bowl and puts it down in front of Marrow. Just, there you go. But yes, no. So what do I owe the pleasure of this business? It's I had assumed that maybe you had some ask from your uncle for me, but I must say, Katala being here has me quite thrown.
Yes. Well, Katala is uh, here for some uh, moral support, really.
Hmm.
So I'm just gonna come out with it. Uh,
You're just gonna come out?
Oh,
I knew
I've
it.
done that, bud.
I've done that. That ship has sailed.
Please, Abel, you know there's no shame around me. You don't need to be hide anything like that.
Oh, I won't. My uncle is dead.
Oh my! Oh, I'm so. When did this happen? This must have been quite
Yes,
soon. I
this-
try to keep tabs on our old circle. This is
Just-
I haven't heard of anything.
Just a few days ago, actually. Yeah.
Oh my! I'm so sorry. I should get the good wine. She takes your glass, gets another bottle of like not even wine. She just gets like bourbon or something, and just like pours you a nice couple fingers. Like, my condolences, Abel. Please, here. It's so sorry to hear about that. The rest of
And I'm gonna basically like um just completely break down a little bit and just like go over the whole thing about my whole family drama with her, of my uncle being found to have basically killed my family, and then himself being killed only slightly after disowning me, and that whole tragedy. And I assume the Blackbriar's thing is going to become public knowledge eventually.
to some extent, probably.
Yeah. So I'm gonna yeah. So I'll talk about this asset, and I'll say that, but there is some good news that came out of this though, which is that I have reason to believe that my sister is in Avency, hence my visit here.
Oh, that is certainly. Is that good news, or was she sold afterwards? And she's been, as the whole time we've been talking, she's been making sure that your glass always has a few fingers in it, has been keeping you topped off, and has also been making sure that Galahadrian's is topped off. Everybody else's, if you've drank it, it's empty.
Well, see, that's the thing is I'm trying to remember what Blackbriar told me specifically. Was that she's serving in the Knights, right?
He said that she was a knight. So as soon as you say that, like, she's an Avency or whatnot, she was like, oh, is she like? She would assume that you meant like she
As a
died
corpse.
and somebody
Yeah, as a
sold her
zombie of
body
some
as a
kind,
thing,
yeah.
and she would like, oh, we can, if that's the case, I can see there's. It might have been done behind or off official paperwork. If it was officially recorded, we'd be able to locate her. I could definitely help you buy her off whoever her current owner is if you wish to have her back. But as soon as you say knight, she's like, oh. Uh, and she goes and upgrades your drink to another liquor one more time. And also pours one for herself of this one. It is a very, very rich, like probably 100 gold bottle of wine.
Wow. I'm flattered.
You should be.
Said that she was a knight. I will be quite honest, Abel. I have never heard of your sister's name in Avency. If I would have told you immediately. We are good friends,
Of
after all.
course.
However, the knights do not go by the names they had in life. I would not know what they are now. That is not really something that the envoys are given information to. Once you have died and have become a knight who serves the Regent Lord directly, then you are supposed to dedicate your life solely to himself and the Empire. Uh, and while I am quite proud of my current position, I must admit that I have only seen the Regent Lord once from afar at a party. I have not climbed the ranks enough to be of immediate use, but I will certainly do what I can to help you. What is it that you would like me to do?
I suppose it's too much to hope for her to come back. She's moved on in a very literal sense, it seems. But just that if I could just let her know that I know and that her death has been avenged, that would be enough for now.
I can write a letter to someone in the palace that could potentially pass it on, but unfortunately I cannot make any promises, Abel.
I don't expect you to. I understand that this is a long shot. Perhaps you could frame it as a way for her to focus on, have her any, let her
Yeah,
know
yeah,
that
yeah,
her,
it
any,
tops it off
yeah,
again for you.
let her know that any unfinished business she may have in Bosmore is well and truly concluded.
I will try to get that message across. Of course, it is the least I can do, and I hope that it will put her at peace. But she served. If what he said is true, although I'm not sure how trustworthy you can be of a man who committed such heresy. Usually, the knights are. They have made an agreement with the Regent Lord before their passing to serve him after death. If that did not happen that way, that is quite unusual, or at least from my understanding of it. But of course, I'm not the most in the loop person
The
when
whole
it
thing,
comes to that.
the whole thing is quite unusual.
Yes.
So I have.
Would you like to try and see her yourself? I could always arrange travel for you to Avency. I'm sure that Katala would love to revisit so close to the duchies.
Unfortunately, I have other duties that I must now attend to.
The princess said no to
That's
that.
Oh,
Yes,
that's a
also that.
shame. Oh, you're in the
I
princess's employ.
yes.
Well, I could always, if you're not busy, I could always go with Galahadrin. The two of us can see if your sister is safe. Would that be? How would that sound, my dear? Would you like to do that?
Run.
Um,
Whore.
Your friend is so nice.
they are quite nice, and I'm gonna kind of hold Galahadrin's hand a little pointedly, and just be like, Galahadrin is also traveling with us and has similar responsibilities, but perhaps
Lucky you. Well,
in perhaps in the future, when our duties are not calling us to other places, I will not deny that that is something I would want. Um, but I
well,
don't think
let
the
me
time is quite
know.
ripe.
Let me know and I can make that happen. You were very useful to me in our school years. I would love to return the favor.
So,
And she
yes.
sort of looks at Galahad and is like, he was always such a dear, just willing to share so much and benefit all of us in his little enterprise. He was truly
Yeah.
a very clever boy.
He is clever.
I know.
He's been very good at planning and leading.
Oh, yes. No, he has very good management skills.
Yes.
And
Now
quite
he has
the
a
top.
gun.
A gun?
A castle clearer.
A gun, you say?
Abel, I believe those are restricted. Good find. Where did you get it?
Uh, oh man. I mean, well, so let me tell you how we found out about that my uncle was the one. And I guess I'll talk about the um uh yeah, the crate, basically the crate of guns that we got.
Oh, well, that explains what happened to DeLuca. I was wondering what happened to that old sod.
Oh,
Oh,
you knew him.
I knew of him. It's we're both envoys here. We had meetings occasionally. I don't tried not to spend much time in Dranis, but it was. Well, I guess that we're all in on the little secret now. It was part of his job to procure relics for the Regent Lord. I see that he wasn't able to do that. I will say, you are friends, so I will not try to pry it from you, although you must understand it is what my job is supposed to be. But if you were willing to part with that relic, the Regent Lord would pay handsomely for it.
It is no longer mine to part with.
Just FYI, as friends, give me your magic shield.
Well, if you come across any other relics, then that you are willing to part with, please let us know. We're willing to compensate you more than enough. You could even, I don't know, I assume you're going to try to rebuild your house even. Some starting funds would be good. Maybe even pull for you to get a position in the Regency even. It looks like, you know, a good find, a good opportunity, if you would.
Um, out of
how long since you last saw DeLuca? I'm sorry, Jack.
Oh, let's see. It was probably as I was coming back from Avency after our graduation and my appointment, so I don't know, maybe 10 months, maybe.
Hmm.
It's been quite a while. I mostly heard of him. We part of the same oh god, what's a group of envoys? Delegation. Part of the same delegation to Bosmar, of course. Uh, but I wasn't directly involved in his work. We had our own little regions and such. I didn't know him too well. Uh, would you have mentioned that Alina knew DeLuca?
Or that you
uh,
killed him?
I would not mention that we killed him.
No, no, no. But like Alina knew DeLuca.
I would try and subtly look over at Eilina and try and determine if she wanted to mention that.
We sure do a lot of pointed looking at each other.
We do. It's a lot of looking in
We
this
got a
group.
lot going on.
I shake my head
Okay,
just slightly.
I would leave that part out then.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you wouldn't really add any more. It's just like, they did the same job in the same sort of like area, but otherwise it was
Okay.
like,
Um, out of character question, you when she says relics, when these people are saying relics, are you just using that as an in-game term for magic item, or does it mean specifically a magic item with history?
for magic armor or weapons. So
Okay.
not like a bag of holding, not like,
Right.
a collar of intellect or something. I think with the additional like time that you've spent in doing this, you've probably smart enough. I'll let the nat 20 history check roll. You kind of come to a realization that a relic is something that kills demons or protects you from them.
Right.
Like that is the distinction.
Okay.
So
So I will let Rebecca know that I'll keep my eyes open for any other relics that might be not
I will say,
currently claimed.
just to let that nat 20 roll again, because I don't feel like I gave you enough for it. You would probably also, in this world's cadence, consider the corrupted items to be relic adjacent.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So this is a conversation I want to have with, I guess, Eilina and the rest of the group. So when we're done with talking to Rebecca.
But yes, if you'd like to leave me a letter, I'll try and get it to your sister if I can. No promises, I'm afraid. But
Of course. Yes, I will bring you a letter, and we should you know, if I'm gonna be around, we should, hang out, catch
Oh,
up.
I would love to. Oh, Galahadran, have you been to the restaurant on 4th Street?
I have not.
Oh, you must go. Oh, I'll be more than happy to take you there one night if you're free.
All right,
Abel,
Abel,
you
when
can
are
come
you
as well if
free?
you'd like.
Yes, I remember that restaurant.
Very good steak.
Yes. Okay. So yes, thank you. I will send that, pen the letter and get that to you to send along. And keep an eye out for any relics that might interest you.
Of course, I appreciate it, and again, my deepest condolences. I'm so sorry to hear that. If there's anything else that I can help you with in this time of grief, please let me know.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Make a Constitution save.
Oh no.
Dead.
I have not been drinking, by the way, this whole time.
Yeah.
Pass.
Yeah. You stumble a bit. It was very strong wine.
Yep.
If you drank a lot, do with disadvantage. But yeah, if you were, she was definitely playing you.
Yep.
Galahadran, it is nowhere near Fey wine, so you're
Ooh.
fine.
I pass out.
Yep, you stumble.
If only you had a big,
all
strong
Swoop
paladin
your
to
head.
carry you
Swoop
home.
in to catch you.
Galahadran.
Okay.
I
I'll
think-
let you use your protection fighting style to get rid of the disadvantage on that. Yeah, you catch him.
I'm gonna.
Oh my. Oh, I'm so sorry, Abel. I must have. Didn't think that was any worse than our college days, but oh well. Can't help getting older.
College sounds very exciting.
Yep. And she calls somebody. You guys are able to get out. No issues. As you leave, Phelan, what are you scheming? What the fuck are you up to?
Yeah.
Get him.
So the first thing we need to do is we need to go to a clothier.
Okay.
Just the same place I went and got my the last set of clothes.
Okay.
That
Yep.
made me not look like a hobo.
They're open.
All right, so I just walk on. Good evening. I need a few things, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, of course, of course. I see that you're wearing our previous work. Well, yeah. What else can I do for you?
I need a matching hat, if you would. I would like to sample a few styles.
Good. We have so many hats. Just shows you a plethora of hats. I think a hat, like how fancy of a hat do you want to get? They can go from like 1 silver to like a gold.
I would like a gold hat.
It is. It puts Abel's hat's probably a gold hat.
I
Probably.
want a hat. I want the hat that has like the wide brim, one side buttoned up with a feather in.
You mean Abel's hat?
Yes,
Exactly
exactly.
the same as Abel's hat.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. If it's Abel's hat, it is definitely in style. I think we can definitely reverse engineer that. If Abel is wearing it, it is style.
Would it be possible to replace this feather? I've grown partial to green.
How
Green
dare
feather.
you? How dare
Yes,
you? Your
I
color
believe we
is
can-
purple.
Certainly green feather, and he just makes those customized. He's got a green feather, right. They've got like a whole rainbow thing of feathers back behind the counter. It's like, oh, yes, the feathered hats are all the rage with the young nobility right now. We come in a wide variety of colors. Green is a common choice for some. Although, are you looking in more of a royal green or more of a Parisian green?
God, what is the green that my hair is without showing him my hair?
Make a perception check.
9. Perfect.
You look and they all look the same. It's all the same green. If you had Galahadran, he could show you exactly which one was which, but you're just like,
But
it's
I
like pointing
wouldn't.
to white,
I don't
off-white,
want you to have
eggshell.
green.
Forgive me, I am. As you can clearly tell, I am elven. I'm not too familiar with it. Is it heresy to go as close as I can to? Is it Felmar? Is that the green
Carrick.
god?
Carrick
To
is the
go as
green
close
god.
to Carrick
Yeah,
green as possible.
Green is quite a good color for the pious and for soldiers and such. And
Let's do that. That would be lovely.
they sew it in and they get it in the rest of the hats, whatever color you want, and they put put in a nice little box
Excellent.
for you.
Now
Should be
then,
written on it. Yeah.
I'll take a quick look around. Is anybody else in the store?
In the store, I'll say for a perception check, you don't see anybody else in the store.
Okay. If I could get a bit more conspiratorial with you.
Oh,
Were I
yeah.
to do some more sort of secretive work, I need something quite decidedly less ostentatious than what I'm currently wearing.
Mm.
Do we have something more subdued that I could wear in the blacks and brown?
Does it need to be functional and protective?
Protective, no. Functional would be delightful.
Yes, we can get something that's a bit less loose and more fitting.
A hood with it, if you would.
Oh, I
Not a
see.
deep hood, but it decidedly needs to cover my head.
For the rain, you want to keep yourself dry. Yes, no, let
Precisely.
me. And he, gets exactly what you're describing.
Perfect.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but like a gold for the hat and then whatever it was like traveler's clothes probably was probably what 10 silver. I don't know the price off the top of my head.
2 gold it is.
Yeah, that's you tip him. Yeah. All right, he takes that graciously, makes whatever alterations he needs to do to it, and yeah, you've got your clothes and your hat.
Excellent. Trying to decide how we need to do this. Would you be able to point me to the nearest upper middle class inn?
I believe I can. Yeah, he writes an address down for you and gives you directions to it. It's like, yes, there you go.
Thank you. And I'll go there.
Okay. Did I write up locations for inns in this thing? I've got a lower class one called the Squeaky Pig, but I don't think that's what you were.
The Squeaky Pig is not where I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I want to go to the Squeaky Pig.
You have rooms at the castle. All right. Yeah, you go to the Gods, what's the name for an inn? God, why am I blanking on this? I've done so much other good prep, and I'm blanking on this.
The
Fuck my
Dragon
life.
Flagon.
No, there's no. It's not really a concept. There's. It doesn't really
Serpent
seem like
Snack.
high class like he's looking for. And every name I'm coming up with is too close to something Matt Mercer used. It's annoying.
Let's use an in name generator. I'm sure they're there.
Yeah. The Crystal Glass. There
The
you go.
Grim Castle.
Beautiful. I would love to go to the Crystal Glass.
The Crystal Glass. All right.
Okay.
We're at the Crystal Glass.
Excellent. I'll just walk up to the main hostess.
Yeah. She greets you. Warmly. It's like, yes, sir. What can I get for you? Would
Good
you like
evening.
a room?
I would. I will be in town for what seems to be at least two weeks, and I would like to rent one of the nicer rooms until then.
Of course. Let me just get Dungeon Master's Guide. Wait, no, it's not Dungeon Master's Guide. This is Living Standards. No, not the stupid new one. Give me the old one that works just fine. For a... I would consider it... Would you consider this comfortable or wealthy?
Let's go with wealthy.
4 gold a night.
So...
Meals all inclusive
Come
and
on.
stuff.
You can do this math. 14 times 4 is 56.
Remember, a week
56.
here is 5 days.
Okay. 40 gold.
40
Thank
gold.
you, Jack.
Yep, for 2 weeks, 10 days. Yeah.
Excellent.
All right. She takes that. She gives you your key.
Thank you.
Enjoy your stay. And yeah.
Thank you. Before I go, do you have any mail services?
Of course, we can send couriers for you if you wish.
It is quite a distance. How would that work?
Where would you like to send a letter? It depends
I would
on
like-
the courier service.
I would like to remind let my parents know that I am safe and made it to the city.
Oh,
I need to
very
send
good.
something back to a town in Valden, in the Garen Woods, called Valden.
Well, that's not too far. I'm sure that we can manage that. For just a simple letter, we can do that for a silver.
Excellent. What if I gave you a gold? How quickly do you think it could get there?
For that would be... Quicker letters would involve a hawk sort of courier, and those are limited in how much you can write on them. We don't necessarily do that. That's more of what the oh gods, what group would do that? Yeah, you would need to go to the barracks for that. It's more of official communication between the noble houses.
I appreciate that. How quickly could you get it there? Money being no object.
Money being, for a courier to ride non-stop on a horse on the sort of express service, they could be there in, I don't know, 2 days, 3.
And
Depends.
how much would that run?
I think I can make that work for 2 gold.
Very well. That'll work just fine.
Alright, she takes that, and whatever letter you give her, she will make sure it gets there in 2 days.
Please see that this reaches a Father Johann.
Of course.
And here is another gold to remember my name of Perrin Mealy.
Of course, sir. Enjoy your stay.
Thank you much.
Alright, you've got a room. Everybody else is kind of stumbling out of the place. Are there... So what's the plan? Are we hunkering down for a few weeks until the ceremony? Are we going anywhere? What is... Just so I know what to prep for next session. We doing downtime?
I do have one last thing I would like to do before
yeah, of
we're all
course.
done.
Yeah.
In my fancy clothes, I would like to... Oh god, I don't remember the name of the place. The place that had the bitchy cat that Gary worked for.
Oh, yeah. What was that place
The
called?
Pet Emporium place.
Yeah, the Pet Emporium place. Man, where did I write this shit down? I have too many journals. But I know the place that you're...
You know the
talking
place.
about. Yeah.
In the not me clothes.
Okay.
And I will simply walk in.
All right. Yeah, there is the dwarf behind the counter with his sort of like moss green beard. Just sort of looks up and is like, yeah, what can I do for you?
Yes. I had heard rumors that if I was looking for someone I knew when I was a child, that he
Mira's
works
Exotics. Mira's Exotics. Yeah.
Perfect. I was looking for someone that I knew as a child I was told worked here. Do you know a man named Gary Leafheart?
Yeah, you asked about him before. Yeah, he's somewhere in town, just doing some odd jobs or whatnot. Do you have a message for him?
Simply tell him that I am looking for him and I am staying at the Crystal Goblet.
Ah, of course. And can I get a name for you?
Tell him my name is Johann.
Johann. All right, of course. I can leave that message. Anything else?
That'll do. Thank you much.
Of course. All right.
And now I'm done.
Okay. All right. So you have left a message for him as Johann.
So my plan was basically to hunker down and do the ceremony, see what the scouts report and the research reveals in that time, and I've got lots of money that I could potentially use to craft.
I think we will at least get 1 week of downtime.
Yeah.
So at the very least.
Is that an extended rest?
Yeah.
That is an extended rest. Yeah, you will get one extended rest.
I've already know what I want to do. I've known what I wanted to do for a minute now.
Okay.
You can become proficient in something during an extended rest, can't you?
You can train to work towards becoming proficient in a tool or language.
Excellent.
Extra rules. Rests. Alright, yeah, so... Boom. So it's under rests, downtime, there is rest and recuperation, training. New language or tool learned after a number of downtime training sessions and the same proficiency equal to 10 minus the character's intelligence modifier.
Oh, fuck yeah. Um,
Training requires paying an instructor or institution 25 gold per downtime.
okay, so this is one downtime?
Yes.
Okay, not a problem.
And I believe Marrow is already at least one, maybe even more, towards learning how to use an herbalism kit.
I am learning how to use these tools.
Alright.
I also absolutely love that I
You're at a
don't
9
need
for
gold.
herbalism kit. Yeah. Well, you might need gold for some stuff.
I did just now.
Yeah.
So do I have to roll for this, or does it just?
Nope, just 25 gold and 1 downtime gives you 1 step of progress towards proficiency. Which I believe, if your modifier is 5, then
I need
you only
5.
need to do... Yeah, so you only need 5 downtimes to do it.
Okay, perfect.
Right? And just mark it on a... Just make a feature on your character sheet that is just like whatever the thing is, and then like 1 out of 5. And then just change that every time you train. Alright, anybody else downtime plans?
I would like to talk to the princess, and someone requested some blacksmithing from me, and I don't remember who it was or what it was.
You made the bracers for Abel. I'm not sure what else. I think you did that last time, so...
So since I am, do I need to? No, I didn't want to do that. I want
Who have you betrayed, Abel?
to attune.
You're drunk, your gun goes off. It doesn't usually happen like that. You swear.
Yeah. So there, I have a. I just noticed on my character sheet I have a thing for attunement slots, but it doesn't. I can't actually edit it. And Betrayal doesn't have a way to equipped. Can I attune to it? I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, that's why attunement required. There we go.
Okay, cool.
Okay, it is now attuned. There we go.
So my plan was to do some crafting.
Okay.
Which could I basically I was gonna try and do that like in between sessions.
So do you want to do it as a full downtime thing, or?
Well, I don't think I can, because it's basically my options are either crafting or training, and if I want to do any crafting, I can't do training. So yeah, I would have to do it as a full downtime thing.
Yeah. Well, you can also do. Well, it depends on how much crafting you want to do. So.
Well, I've got.
Because for you as well, since it's alchemy set, you can't really do it while on the road, because you need to. Well, do you have an alchemy kit?
I do, yeah. I have alchemist supplies.
Yeah. So you could have been doing it during the evenings, just as part of your camp activity for resting.
Okay.
So do the math on how many hours you want to spend and see if it makes sense for having done it since... Well, oh no, because you would need to get here to buy the ingredients for it, actually.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have been able to start until you got the Norest.
I mean, I have some ingredients, but I need to... I'm going to write them down before you close down Foundry, and I'm going to try and work it out.
I'll leave Foundry open for a while.
Okay, well, I'm not going to do it tonight, because it's 11:45.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right, so you're going to figure out if you want to do downtime or training. Galahadron's going to Prince of Revels it up. Here's a question, Galahadron. While you were doing Prince of Revels, are you taking any of the other members out with you, which would involve them not being able to do their downtime as much?
Well,
because this is
thankfully
you
they have-
literally spending most of your days just going around partying.
True, but they have
And that
good
could be
take
worse.
breaks. Everyone has to eat food, and they can lose a little sleep for parties. I don't think that taking other party members to parties should affect their downtime too much.
They can join you for some of it, but they wouldn't be my question is, would they be joining you for all of it?
That's really up to them.
Because if as soon as word gets out of what you're doing, which is literally what the feature is of like word gets out that you are partying just like a legend, Rebecca would find you and join you.
I see. Wow, she's so nice.
Just keep that in mind.
What a real pal.
We'll circle back to that. Oh yeah. Okay, so Prince of Revelries from Galahadron. Meryl, are you just gonna train in your another step in your herbalism kit?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. 25 gold.
I will come to some of the party at least.
Alright, and then Alina, you're meeting with the princess, and is there any like actual blacksmithing things that you wanted to like?
No, because I remembered something about making full plate, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't remember who needed that.
You and Galahadron, one of you got. Oh, you got. I think you got the damaged full plate off of the captain that you would need to repair.
Yeah, I can work on that.
Yeah. Okay. Also, okay, I need to look up what the rules for repairing are, and if there are, you'll be able to do it in one downtime, easy. Like I know that. I just need to check and see what the cost and any checks would be. So I will look into that. But yeah.
So question about for buying materials. What level of materials can I assume I can find in the city? It's like just
the city, and especially because you have contacts that could get stuff, you can probably get anything up to uncommon. Anything more than that could probably be found, but you would need to like hunt for it, basically, like track down. But anybody else, I would say, wouldn't even be able to do that. But that's literally what you were doing in this city previously. So
yeah, I'll get in contact with. I have a contact specifically for that. Roger Proud. You can get back in contact with him.
yeah.
Okay. I will figure this out then.
Okay.
And get back to you.
Cool. All right. Anything else? It sounds like we're good. So I'll leave Foundry open for a bit for if anybody wants to take notes or write some stuff up. I believe all the crafting stuff should also be in the crafting PDF that's in the Google Drive.
Yep,
so.
I've got it. So that should be good. All right, I'm going to stop recording.